Well, we'll actually bring you guys into the game as well, guys, I suppose. I suppose we'll give you the game. Okay, now my music player's crashing. It's like, wait, you clicked on me? Ah, I can't deal with this. Like, bro, chill out. It's gonna be okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Right. Music player's being dumb. Alright, we're good. So, in the top left-hand side, we're going to start off with our blue Protoss player here. This is Classic. As we enter the continuation here of the round of 16 Group D. This one started up. Of course, his opponent in the bottom right side is Reynor. Another player seeded into the round of 16, of course, alongside Clem in this group. They got seeded in because they've won WardiTV events throughout the year. Great to have him playing today. As we have him in the bottom right. And Overlord of Reynor just going to go adventure across to the upper left-hand side. It's just going to go on a little bit of a journey for the early few moments to get this underway. How do you get this interface? If you use the exclamation mark GameHard command, it should give you that thread. That TL thread should give you the access to the interface that I use. I got yelled at on YouTube the other day for using this interface, guys. They were like, it's so bad. It doesn't tell you the, someone said, it doesn't tell you the income difference of the players. And I'm like, huh? Does it not? Yes, I'll be right back. 1 moment. I'll be back in a sec. Sorry guys, like I say, we got people in the house today and they're doing the boiler, which means they need to do the radiators, and there's a radiator right next to my PC, which is what I was trying to type out and I realized that was just too many words, so apologies. And yeah, we're back. Hello. Sorry, what did I miss? 5 drones just died from Reynor, but did he kill an Oracle there? He did, he got one of the 2, so that really ain't so bad when you get an Oracle kill, right? I mean, an Oracle's a pretty big thing to be able to get rid of, so I'm kind of down for it, right? You get rid of an Oracle, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I think this is a fine little trade-off for Reynor. Like, don't get me wrong, 5 drones isn't great. 5 drones is a lot worse if double Oracle is still right there on your doorstep waiting to go again, you know? So, I think in this regard. And the other Oracle's super hurt as well, so that's pretty much going to be the end of the Oracle class. You know, you could lose 2 or 3 drones now and the Oracles are still full HP, and then 2 minutes down the line, the Oracles are back and they're hitting, you know, 3 or 4 more drones. Whereas now it should just be 5 workers, and that's it, right? Like, you know, that's basically it, so... some crazy stuff as we see a couple of gateways getting going into the main base. Our Wolf Gate's just getting moving, and that blink on the way up from Classic, so we get that started. Our +1 missiles, our roach speed, all of this coming through for the moment. There's our 5 extra stalkers on the way, so we are just going into all of that. I'm following someone's camera still, just making sure they're just starting these gateways. I was like, did I move off of someone's camera here for a second, or what's happening? No, they're just having a very good time watching these gateways, so let's find Indy's camera. And, yeah, stalkers are moving around. Reynor, roaches, +1 missiles, and the roach speed all coming in as we continue along for the moment. The stalkers moving around and just going to be seeing our feelings up on the top. Obviously, this is really about Classic, who's already beginning his attack down here. Look at that proxy gateway. I think that's a bit of a baller proxy gateway, right? Talk about kind of pushing your luck a little bit, I would say, as our queen's here immediately in some trouble. Stalkers blink straight in to get one queen immediately. And just going to be seeing now the roaches coming back to fight those stalkers off, so pushing those away again. And it's just going to be seeing how roach is going to come back along. The pylon's going to go down, by the way. Our stalkers will go down. Just going to be seeing our stalkers going to go back onto the queens. The roach is coming through as well. I'm just going to be, again, continue to fight this as a couple of the roaches continue to get pushed on back. That's a lot of damage still being done. The roaches come back on through. 2 probes going down on the other side, and just going to be seeing this attack from Classic is honestly not going anywhere. I think Reynor is going to find himself holding pretty comfortably, all said and done. And he has now pushed that for the most part away, so... A few roaches get caught in stasis, which makes this a bit awkward and actually reopens the engagement opportunity for Classic for a little bit, but I think overall Reynor should be feeling pretty A-okay about this right now. It's just going to be seeing our Stalkers still trying to move down this ramp. Oracle has to peel back to the side. I mean, this really was great, but these roaches come out of cooldown, and now they can turn it into this fight straight away, and that's where I think this really wasn't so bad for Reynor, because now these roaches are back. Classic is finding himself in trouble once again, and Reynor just has so many roaches continuing to build this entire time, continuing to look fantastic in that regard. He is holding this, he's not overdroned, he's been just right, in fact, in terms of where he's at in this game. And yeah, these roaches are going to continue to chase down the Stalkers a little, and yeah, every Stalker that goes down is another kind of nail in the coffin, perhaps for Classic even, because he needs the Stalker count to be high to be competitive in this game when Reynor's got so many roaches, with +1 missiles done as well for Reynor too. So Reynor has that advantage as well, already in place and in play. Maulings will just go down towards the tail end of this, but this one is, I think, my friends, coming to a little bit of a close. I think we get into the final stages of... Well, maybe not the final stages, but Reynor's definitely in a great spot. He's going to double down on the roaches as well, getting into their further upgrades so he can do more with them. So that's obviously generally a great idea. I guess they're just going to double down on that and stick around for it. And see what we can do. He's going to get the infestation pit too, so he does have some amount of teching up being done. He is making some amount of moves in that regard. We're just going to come straight in, just going to go straight after that pylon immediately. Obviously knock that down straight away. It's going to be seeing our Oracle. Just going to come through, and a Ravager already taking a little bit of extra hits from that Oracle. So the Oracle doing pretty well for itself. As we are going to be seeing now, the Roach is just breaking in other directions though, and that's going to be where the problem stands. There's just so much for Reynor as he's maxed out, and Classic has obviously been, you know, aggressive in this game and lost out on units, and that's now going to be really beginning to cost him. This is where it really comes into trouble again. The Stalkers in the main base, a lot of probes going down, and this is going to be this Roach Ravager force turning back over to the upper side. A lot more Stalkers continue to drop. 1-1 upgrade still coming by. That's going to be GG's for Classic, so that is going to be it. Reynor takes the first game, guys. Again, apologies for a little bit of BRBing during the games. But yeah, Reynor takes the 1-0 lead and gets off to a strong start. Over the weekend, I imagine, at the end of the tournament on Sunday. Bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg is Reynor, and he is up a game against Classic in the top right. Let's do a cheeky little in-game webcam for Zero Ammo gifted a sub. And going on the tree. But where might he be? Over here. Brilliant. 10 out of 10. Alrighty, guys. I guess I should turn my camera back off. Let's get back into this. So, Classic upper right, Reynor lower left. Get this one ready to go. When does the new patch come out? I actually don't know when the new patch comes out, but I imagine they wouldn't patch before Katowice. So I imagine this would come out after Katowice. Like, pretty much as soon as Katowice ends, they probably release the patch. It doesn't make any sense to patch before Katowice. It's too big of a patch for before Katowice, actually. I think is the big thing. Which is good, it means we got a lot of time to test the changes in the PTR and do balance mods on and stuff, so that'd be pretty cool. There's a long time before Katowice, but like I say, that means we can really iron out the patch and maybe change it a little bit. It's a good amount of time for testing, for sure. You heard before Katowice? Really? That'd be crazy. That's a huge patch for before Katowice, no? You could get new eyes on the new patch with Katowice. Yeah, but it's just such a big patch to put out before the World Championship. That'd be crazy if it comes out before Katowice. That's actually wild. You would release it immediately after Home Story Cup? That's not going to happen. It's too soon. It has to be tested to some extent, you know? Katowice is in half a year. Katowice is in February. That's not half a year away. It's in 2 months. It's never the right moment for a patch. I think after Katowice would be a great time for a patch because then you have the entire off-season for people to adapt. I don't know. I mean, if it comes out before Katowice, it has to be ASAP. But I don't know how soon ASAP is realistic. I don't think it'd be realistic before January, right? Couple of links coming in. I should probably find someone's camera while I'm talking to Twitch chat, and they can observe properly for us as we have a couple of links getting busted around by a Stalker already, so some good damage being dealt. Just going to be seeing the Queen coming through, getting some good shots on this Adept for the moment. And that Queen, let's try and get that Adept finished off. We'll get the kill, so nice little start so far. There's Adept coming in, Warpgate coming through, and then Oracle already popping out. Classic will begin to move this Oracle out across to the bottom left-hand side. Neolytic, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Megalomanian192. Much appreciated. Oh, the Oracle goes down. Classic is not having a good time with his Oracles, is he? Just losing them early. Obviously this time for even less damage than he had last time. Which is a real shame. It's not going well at all at the moment as we have ourselves the Oracle. Going to try and head towards the main base. The couple queens are here and the Oracle will be pushed around. This one gets a single drone. It needs to stay alive. You need this Oracle for scouting and information and all the rest. There's just way too much on the line here to just give this Oracle up for no reason. So definitely time to be pretty careful with this one. Classic, don't go giving it away too easily. That would, like I say, just be a real shame. So something to definitely stay away from for the moment. Mark on the map, and a few Adepts will begin to move forward here, so making their way down the bottom left. We do have a melee upgrade starting up on the side of Reynor, so opting for that melee upgrade here initially. Obviously, gives him a little bit of power on these Lings, so going to already be playing a different start to those Roaches we saw in the first game. Classic going into charge. Temple Archives in the Robo facility, and once Reynor deals with these Adepts, He'll want to start getting towards some banelings to be able to deal with the initial charge lots and everything. Otherwise, this can become quite problematic. You know, Lings alone are not going to be able to deal well with everything that's going to start being built on the other side of the map. Our Lings coming through, our Adept gets caught. 4 drones going down. It's going to be seen our Zerglings making their way all the way across to the other side. A couple of the Zealots come through. Just going to be seeing the Lings looking to try and get a wraparound. So, the Lings wrap around. The first couple of Zealots go down. Oh, no, just one Zealot went down. The other Zealot actually survives. Reynor didn't want to lose an extra Ling to guarantee the Zealot kill. All good. Just going to be seeing the, yeah, just going to be seeing our charge +1 and everything else continuing in now. It's going to have our Robot Bay coming up after the extra gateways coming through. There's the Hydra Den and the Baneling Nest from Reynor, so starting to see those coming fully into action here as well. Continue to work through for that as we speak. Things getting surrounded on this Archon. I think this Archon is probably going to die, so I mean, Classic is not having a good time, right? I mean, these are units you shouldn't be losing to Lings of all things, and yeah, an Archon down the drain is really a little bit gut-wrenching. When you're already in a bit of a weird spot, right? Like, I mean, he has 1 Archon, a Stalker, and an Oracle on the map at the moment. 7 minutes in the game and he has 3 units. He's building a Disruptor. Obviously, gateway count is coming online, so warpins of gate units is going to start increasing very soon, but, I mean, kind of crazy, no? Wardy acts like they're adding new units. I mean, that's a lot of changes, though, no? I mean, you can, I mean, this isn't just a couple of number tweaks either. Like, it's a lot of pretty serious changes. You're completely changing how ghosts work for TvP. You're changing how fighting against carriers works. You're making Hydras a little bit better. You're changing the way creep works. Like, I mean, there's just so many things. If it comes out early January, then I think it's fine. I think that'd be fine. I'm just worried that if they announce it now, it's not going to happen over the holiday period. It just needs to go live, like, straight after the holiday period. Like, early January, if it's going to be for, that'll be fine. Huge nerf to the Ghost, but a huge buff to Zerg late game. I don't think the buff to late game Zerg actually changes Terran. It's Broodlords, right? Broodlords movement speed? I don't think that really changes much for Terran. And the Ghosts aren't worse for sniping, apart from in situations where they could just get insane value from snipes as well. I don't think it changes the power of the snipe. The EMPs are very minimal a lot of the time. As carriers on the way out here from Classic is going to be suddenly found by the first round of mutas that Reynor's just been building here. Let's see what Reynor can do. Can start going after a bunch of these probes. If he comes too far across with these carriers away from the batteries, that could be trouble. Reynor's already pushing with Ling Hydra at the front as well. So mutas striking one way, Ling Hydra on the other. And we do have disruptors, which could be good if they hit the Hydras, then obviously eventually get to enough carriers. This could work out. Right now, Classic's not building anything, though. He just finally started Phoenix. I feel like he could have started those a while ago when he first saw the Mutalisks. A little bit of a weird one. "34 probes just died, guys. I mean, it's honestly kind of incredible. The Muta's putting in some serious work here, and Reynor, again, just striking in multiple ways. Going to continue that work, a kill counter, as it goes to the left side with the Mutas. A few of these Banes sneak up this ramp. They don't really do much, being held off by the Archons. And Overlord is still going down. The Mutas not being looked after at the moment as the Phoenix get to work on them. It's just going to be able to start chipping through there, and the Phoenix will continue to come across after the Mutalisks. As it will. Oh dear! Just going to be seeing a few of these Hydras getting blasted by the Disruptors pretty much straight away. And our +1 missiles, our +1 carapace continues through. Our Banes will just go running straight up this ramp. Disruptor shot fires and just going to be seeing, oh my goodness, 10 probes going down. That's a good chunk of work is getting connected onto there, and Obviously, these Banes are going to come out of stasis. They're still going to be something of a threat. You're just delaying that threat, so you still need to keep something there to kill them. Otherwise, I mean, at the very least, they're probably going to blow up some stack defense, which that alone is going to be quite nice. I mean, they could just get the double cannon kill. I believe they did. Yes, yeah. Nice little damage done from Reynor, who is, well, Max is still ready to go further. He's starting up a hive. He already has the Spire, obviously, if he does want to build Corruptors against the carriers at some stage, so that option just, sits open to him. This is also going to be a Baneling attack over here. The Disruptor Shot tries to find them, but Reynor turned them around in time. Good defense from Classic. He's not actually going to let this in for too much damage at all. He's going to minimize the opportunity in this. Winston back around. Our Zealots will go after said Zerglings. Our Phoenix being chased back along by Hydras. I'm just going to be seeing a few Banelings want to run up this ramp. Stasis Ward catches a bunch of these Banelings, though. There's a couple of carriers going to come through with the kills on those Banes. We are trying to bust through at the front. The first Archon already going down. The Baneling also whacking into those Zealots. In fact, a lot of Banelings going to hit a lot of Zealots there. Classic. Oh, that's expensive. I mean, the Banes finding value like that is insane. As Reynor, 60 new Zerglings. I mean, you can argue, of course, like, hey, look, Reynor's not really getting much progress made, right? But he's got the ability to tech up here, and he's starting to take the entirety of the map. He's just making it difficult for Classic to ever think about getting off of 4 bases. And if you can't ever get off 4 bases, eventually you lose this game. You can't win this game just sitting on 4 bases forever, right? So that's definitely a problem in amongst this that's kind of built into this entire situation. Just come through, going after a couple of these Phoenix straight away. I mean, try and bust up this location again. There might be a point where you can argue that Reynor needs to be a little more cautious with some of these fights, a little bit more careful about how he engages and so on. Well, Zealots want to come around the side, just going to be seeing the Queen and the Corruptors coming through. Just going to go straight after that Prism. And that Prism going to get shot at and pushed away over to the sides. Just going to be having the Ultras continuing up. Chitinous Plate and Adrenal Glands, +3 melee and +2 Carapace. All still producing on out, continuing on into play. Corruptors is just going to come into the main base here, as we do have our carriers in production there. Not going to have a good time. Just going to be seeing Disruptor Shot lands on a good few Zerglings, and Archon Disruptor continue to press on by. The carriers are here pushing the Corruptors away for the moment as well, so continue to just get those out the way. More Lings and more Hydras continue to retreat as we do have our Corruptors coming through. Both these Phoenix get taken down as the Zealots in the main base try to get going. You know, I was very positive for Reynor for a long time in this game, but we're getting to this point, right, where we're getting to this kind of point right here where I kind of feel as though, I mean, he's setting up well for the late game. I guess I was kind of getting worried, but then I think about it, and it's like, well, actually, he's setting up well for the late game anyway. He's got Corruptors, he's getting Vipers. It's not like he's stuck on the mid-game army, which so many people usually kind of end up at, right? Got a few Ultras as well for that kind of power through the ground. Definitely also helps. All of these Corruptors will power down to the south side here. Dominion just hit level 5. Hell yeah. It'll update on the screen a little bit, mate. Sometimes it takes 10-15 minutes, but we'll come through. Thank you so much for hitting level 5 in Rise of Kingdoms. Go 125. We'll see. Again, guys, every Rise of Kingdoms level 5 is $7 to a tournament prize pool. As right now, our carrier is getting sniped down one at a time. He doesn't even need the abduct on that one on the edge, I don't think. I feel like he could have actually just attacked that one. But obviously, Reynor getting rid of carrier after carrier, finding good fights. Another abduct. Hello? How much energy do these Vipers have? Are they just gaining energy every time they abduct? It's kind of crazy. I like this from the Corruptors as well, where they're putting themselves, it's very difficult for the carriers. They're sitting between the kind of reinforcement lines, so if any carriers reinforce across that direction, It'd get picked off immediately, so the positioning is very good from Reynor. Just like, you know, the innate setup of his unit positioning there was very good. Just do have a couple of Zalds coming through, a few of those drones going down. I think that's a nice little attack again from Classic. He's been pretty good with these attacks, as Reynor is just waiting to build. Deciding what he wants to do here as he hits 3k in the bank at the moment. So a lot of money currently available there. We do have Vipers continuing up. The Great Aspire is about to finish, and the Pathogen Glands +2 missiles and +3 carapace all continuing through. You have more of these carriers making their way up through the top side. And Reynor, I love what bases Reynor has, by the way. In fact, he has that far right base and hasn't taken the bottom corner yet. Because in theory, I think that far right base is a harder one to hold, so while he has a lot of control over the game, he's going to mine as much of that as possible. Get one more High Templar Warp just in front of the Nexus. A couple of batteries will begin to go down. Pushing forward, a little bit of creep spread immediately in some trouble. Going to knock one creep teamer down immediately with the Disruptor. And just going to be seeing the rest of this Archon force still moving around over to the left. Another Disruptor shot, another creep teamer being knocked down pretty much immediately. This force of Classic back up to the top. Lords, Corruptors, Vipers all joining together. A few Spore Crawlers coming across as well, getting in position, seeing what they can do. The Archons and Disruptors pushing down this right side with all the carriers to boot as well. So a lot of value and set up over here. A lot that's just ready to go. But you gotta be careful. I mean, straight away here, you got a couple carriers just trailing at the back. One gets killed, the other abducted. Storm doesn't really hit. There goes this first base from Reynor. Like I say, this one is one we expect to be difficult to hold. So, not the end of the world. He's immediately got Ultras over here, so he's going to keep, you know, Classic away from a 6th base and make sure that 5 bases is kind of at the moment his limit. Yeah, I was going to say that's absolutely a free carrier, but Reynor hesitated for a moment and pulled back when he could have just committed. If he just committed straight away, it could have been a little bit nicer, as these Ultras will get beaten down. Obviously, the recoil straight on top of them. A little bit unfair for the Ultralisks, but such is life. Sometimes life ain't fair, especially when you play Zerg. Reynor's drone count not amazing anymore, so he's not mining that much as we hit 20 minutes here on Data C. A Corruptor force making its way through the center, heading up to the top. Carriers, High Templar, Archons, dodging back over through the top side, over to the right a little bit. As everything here from Classic will set up a little further. Our Broodlings start to drop down. Our Nexus already in some trouble. We do launch a round of Interceptors out at this set of rocks. So just looking to open this up straight away. With Broodlords out, I mean, Reynor's starting to play a bit of a slow game. Not really committing in anywhere just yet. A couple of temper shots coming through to clean out some of this creep spread as well. Another attack from Reynor up to the northern side, by the way, too. So straight onto this base. See these Banes. It doesn't take many of them to get a lot of probes. Oh dear, those probes are absolutely in trouble. 15 going down. A few more Banes showing up, maybe not actually needed. Was Reynor just trying to slow down that opposing economy to the best of his ability. The more he can do that, the better it turns out for him, of course. As, again, his own drone count isn't great. That's kind of an interesting scenario, though, right? Because he's got a lot of gas. He doesn't have a lot of minerals. He could definitely do with some more minerals. So maybe Reynor could really do with some more drones. But if he builds drones, he doesn't have as much army. I mean, one of his strengths is also just going to be the size of his army at the moment. Things get across. Pylon goes down. The army of Classic coming through the northern side of the map. As our Broodlords and our Corruptors and our Vipers all continue to gather together. 8 Banes on the way up. A couple of Overseers being brought in. And this army of Reynor continues to hunt through the middle of the map and heading to the northern side for the moment. 21 minutes. Classic. I mean, Classic's army is great, but boy, it can disappear so quickly if Reynor can find the right fight onto it. Is the moral of the story usually for this Sky Toss force. Reynor still trying to control the bottom right. Classic trying to get another base up, as this could be one of these fights. We just get a bunch of abducts. Well, there goes the mothership. It's going to drop a time warp down. We re-abduct the 2 Tempests we'd already abducted. The Lings and the Broodlings are doing amazing things on the ground, killing Disruptors and Archons. I think Classic didn't quite realize just how powerful that Broodlord count was going to be, as suddenly, wow, I mean, honestly, that was kind of insane. I didn't realize there was going to be so much going down on Classic's ground force, especially. That part definitely caught me a little bit off guard. Corruptor shots looking to line up. We do see another abduct on a Tempest, gets sniped down instantly. So the Tempest will be brought down. A few High Templar moving forward a little bit. Just going to be seeing our Broodlings getting picked off as well. Carriers continuing up. The mothership on the way in. It's going to be seeing our mothership continuing to chrono boost along. Our feelings up the left side. It's already morphing. Ling's gonna run up. Gonna look for a little bit of a surround. Gonna go straight in towards this pylon. Pylon likely to be in some trouble then, so just gonna depower all this static defense. We're still fighting over here. The first storm looked as though it maybe should have hit, but it was actually just to the north of all the Broodlords. As the Tempests do well against the Broodlords, I mean, we're actually starting to fight here as Reynor, which means he's gonna lose a few of these Broods. He wants to find a way in with these Corruptors, but I believe the Vipers are out of energy, so he can't really abduct anything, because he can't find too much in all this. 13 drones going down. There's a bit of harass over here. Some Adepts having a good time. Not sure if there was something elsewhere at the same time. It's going to be seeing the Classic army turning back around. Still only on 5 bases. He's drained of money, guys. This is like the only base he has mining. He has essentially 2k gas left in the bank. Or left in the mining in terms of bases he currently owns. And that's really going to be the checkmate maneuver that Reynor's going to pull on him in the end. He's going to be like, hey, well, are you still mining? And Classic's going to be like, no, I'm not. And Reynor's going to be like, well, sup. That's going to be kind of rough for you, right? I mean, that's going to be where Classic is going to be in a lot of trouble, I think, because Reynor has lava to spend his money on. He just decides what he wants to build. He's going to build 9 Broods and 13 new Corruptors. There goes the 5th base. I mean, I think Classic is essentially all in across the map right here, because this is not a good trade for him. Base for base, as I've just kind of been saying. Classic's not in a position where that's okay for him in the slightest. This is very bad, so... Well, I mean, he's going to get the bottom right, too. Then I guess Reynor's not really on any mining bases either. I guess this base is already down. I guess I'm putting too much emphasis on how much these bases give us. The probes show up to try and mine over here, but there's already Lings here to try and deny those probes. That's pretty much every probe in the game from Classic. That's 24 of his 32 probes are over here. Reynor has some Lings and Ultras and Banes on the top, but he might just need to bring them down to the south, and I think he's realizing that as well. The little Spore Crawler wall not really doing enough for him just yet. The Broodlings will start to try and get something done. Because obviously the Spore Crawlers will help a lot. Like I say, Reynor bringing this group of Bane Ultra, he was bringing it down, but I think he's realized it's almost too late to fight now, or he might just be able to cut off the retreat of this army. These probes are still over here as well. Reynor has got Classic somewhat stuck in the bottom right. You don't really want to recall, because that's a lot of free damage potential that you give to Reynor as well. Reynor has spent his bank, and with Reynor's bank spent, Classic might actually still be okay here, because he's still got a bit of money in the bank. 160 army supply on both sides. Reynor builds a couple infestors. We got a new hatchery coming up from Reynor, and Classic will expand to the right. The Lingbane Ultra gathering at the top. The probes pull back along to the right side as well. Going to get into that Nexus. As we push down the bottom, a couple of these drones will be going down, and just going to be seeing the rest of this continuing to be picked away. A lot of these Lings starting to drop down the probes. So a lot of probes being denied here. Able to grab the Nexus over on the right hand side, and just going to be seeing Classic's army sitting on the edges at the moment. The Lingbane Ultra back through the center, back down the bottom left. Well then, I mean, like I say, Reynor, a very important denial of this base, not letting these mining bases go up. Classic's going to be out of money, but 182 army supply to fight with. We abduct in the mothership, so we get the mothership brought into play immediately. It's going to be seeing our Broodlords getting a few shots off. While the storm goes down. It's going to be seeing our Broodlings continuing through. Firing up nicely so far. Just going to be seeing our Broodlords taking a little bit of damage here. I'm just going to be seeing Tempest shot after Tempest shot coming by. Storm goes down. Corruptors have to turn away. Back across at the moment. The Tempest continue to launch some shots onto those Corruptors, and we do have Reynor needs to pick a fight. 170 against 170 supplies, looking for the Abduct. He hits the Oracle, which is not a bad target. Get rid of the Revelations in the future. Oh, the Infestor's off on a journey. He's got a couple of fungal growths remaining. He saved one Infestor there. Feedbacks on pretty much every single Viper. One Viper gets an Abduct off. The War Prism moves forward. Not sure how important that is. I guess maybe to save some units, some micro. 144 to 150 army supply. Reynor builds a couple new Broodlords. He's getting hit down by the Tempest shots. We still had an Oracle here. This was a new Revelation. That was the issue. I was wondering how those Tempests were still reaching every single time as we move in. Big Storm. Reynor has to move back. He's got to fight this as slowly as possible. The Corruptors get another carrier. The back and forth continues. He's in for another carrier. Still one shot here, but he's about to run out of Broodlords, right? Does Reynor have anything else beyond these Broodlords to fight on the ground with? He comes back in. One carrier looking for another. He's eating Storms quite badly on the left-hand side. 106 to 90 army supply. The Interceptor count running low. Can Reynor get an answer to these Archons? He doesn't have much money. He's mining this base. He needs as much as he can get from it ASAP. 23 drones on the map, but are they all here? 16 of them are. 102 to 105 army supply. The Ultras are almost necessary to get rid of these Archons. Reynor needs to get rid of this base, and he knows it. The Caustic Spray is massive to get rid of this Nexus. We do have Archons. Going to get some Corruptors, though, but he needed to deny the mining. He can't let Classic mine when he can't mine himself, as this has come down to an absolute duel so far. And I'm just going to back up. Obviously, he can regen over time with these Corruptors, and he really needs them to start regenerating a little bit. I mean, it's a slow regeneration, but they will regenerate. Anything helps. Is getting kind of cut off here as he moves back around this top side. What did he build? He's got a good few Ultras up. He's got a few Banes and Lings. He's looking more competitive on the ground again, which I think is very important. And I don't think there's as much a deal with these Ultras anymore. There's still 3 Immortals. He needed something more on the ground at the end of the day, right? He just needed to have something because having nothing at all was not working for him. Corruptors looking for that chance to get shots off, but seen immediately. Obviously, the High Templar in position there as well. They could have had a big storm if they had maybe gotten a shot off sooner. Tempest carriers, Archons. Going to come into play. Just going to knock down this Hatcher on the bottom side. Hatcher will fall. The Overlord gets pushed away. And we've seen our drones splitting to move in different directions at the moment. Ultras, Lings, Bane's going to continue forward. If a little storm going down, these Ultras will move in. And here we go. This is going to be the fight. A couple of Neural Parasites on just anything we can find. Oh my god, the Corruptors, though, they're moments away from dying. This storm's about to kill so many of them. So many Corruptors dropping. Do we have a way to kill the Tempest anymore? Oh, we actually might have enough Oh, we don't have enough Corruptors, do we? We do not have enough Corruptors. Ultras are going to go running across the map. And the Tempest can get to work on all these bases. I mean, how does Reynor ever afford Corruptors? He starts to build Queens. So there's just a group of Corruptors on the bottom side that was super low HP, and they just got hit by one final storm. The Queens that we're building lose out, and that's going to be GG's. Classic takes game at number 2 off of Reynor. We tie up 1-1, just like that. So, bottom left-hand side, our red Protoss play here is Classic, tying it up in the long 30-minute game on Data C. Now we have inside and out, and Reynor might be back to something a little bit more feisty here to get things going. Alright, third map of this series. First gateway going down. And setting up with a block to force Reynor to a third hatchery location to begin with. So just going to get that going to begin with. At the start here. get that underway. Two drones mining. I'm excited to see where we go in the next few moments. So, get all of this set up. It was an interesting last game. I really felt like Reynor did enough to keep kind of Classic away from that 5th base for so long that Classic was going to struggle kind of going into a later game situation. And obviously didn't quite actually work out like that, so yeah, it was interesting. Hey, thank you, whoever got to the level 5. I think that was probably the Dominion on the Rise of Kingdoms. Much appreciated. Every level 5 counts, but more. Between games, though, because right now this series is going great, and probably going to put this one on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure YouTube's going to be already a bit upset at me for having had to take a break at the start of the series, so I guess I might have to edit that one out or something. That comes through. Couple Ling's gonna get chased away, and just gonna be seen. However, yeah, Robo facility opening from Classic, so gonna mix it up a little bit with the Glaives, the Robo, very different from what we've seen before. Reynor gets in for the huge scout, sees everything, right? So Reynor could not have seen more with that Ling. Let's see the Robo timing, that's fantastic, and obviously is now just fully aware, or should be fully aware of what's going on. Glaives in the back as well, the Twilight Council. I mean, he saw that too, so he really did just see everything. He's fully aware of what's happening, and Reynor should be very happy to potentially just set up a defense here, deal with this, and move on and along from there. Those extra gateways continuing to come on up. Just going to see our Warp Prism continue to Chrono Boost out. That'll be done in just a few moments. As the Prism just chronos on away. Just going to be seeing our Warp Gate finishing up on the Cybercore in a moment or two as well. And again, just the extra gates, the Prism, all of this continuing in for the moment. Observer on the way out as well. A lot of setup here at the moment from Classic. Of course, pretty much ready to go. It's going to be this 4-gate star. The Rotron coming up at a nice time from Reynor. He should be okay here. In theory, he's got the pieces of this defense set up. It's just putting the pieces into action in the right way. See what he can do. Two Adepts just warping in, 7 Roaches, couple of Spore Crawlers, all on the way up right now. The Spores are very smart. We've seen a lot of players going for Dark Shrines alongside their Adept attacks recently, so nice to see those coming through a little bit right away as our few Adepts move over. Lings and Roaches getting chased out of here. And a few Queens coming through, pushing the Adepts back as well. So just getting some more damage dealt. These Adepts continue through the top side and looking to try and get on top of this Ling Roach force. The Adepts do shade through. The rest of the Adepts are going to be coming by right now. And a few of these drones continue to get picked away at. It's 4 drones already killed. A few Lings and Roaches in some trouble. And the Adepts will shade by over toward the Natural. I mean, 4 kills is not a lot if you're going to end up losing the majority of these Adepts now. Now, we have got some moving into the main base, so Reynor's going to have to deal with that at the same time here. 7 workers killed. Into the main base we go. 9 workers killed. 35 to 43 workers. Again, it's a question of does Reynor, maintain enough units after to kind of just be okay to drone. We actually see Classic is already on the way to Immortals, so he's probably looking for a pretty aggressive follow-up to this. 16 workers now dead. And, well, you look at the unit count on the map. 2 Immortals already set. 1 more in production. This follow-up attack is going to be scary for Reynor. Like I say, he's going to spend some time building roaches, drones now. And he's going to have to get back onto that roach ling production to deal with this. You've got to find that balance of kind of getting back to the right amount of drones, but not over-droning. And then dying to the Immortal Adept attack, because obviously that just undoes the whole point of droning, so... Adepts move forward. A couple of creep teams being picked off. Queen's at least immediately in position. As this Prism will be struck immediately by the Queens. Can we get the kill on the Prism? It'd be huge! Doesn't get there. It's low, though. Adepts unload. Now Immortals press forward. Blink already on the way up and just going to be seeing... Here's this attack. I mean, this first attack. Reynor on 55 drones. Needs to find a defense here immediately. Let's see if he can do so, if he's going to end up in some trouble. Roach is delivering a little bit of a strike here initially. Here come our Queens. A couple transfusions to keep them going. Probes going down on the counter-attack. Ling's over there, dealing a lot of damage. You can see that probe cannon rising. There's not much to see apart from the fact the Lings are attacking the third base. So let's watch how this fight goes. Does Classic have enough just to fully break through? The Adept share the other side. The Immortals have no issue hitting all these roaches. That's one great corrosive bile, but I just do not think Reynor has enough to defend this here. As the Lings continue to stream in from the other side, it looks like Classic is going to be booking himself into the winner's match. Classic 2-1 against Reynor after a long first game as well. Second game, but first game that he won as well. And Classic straight through into the winner's match against Clem. You might get a Classic Reynor rematch.